Can you imagine the terror of watching your father pinned to the ground, helpless, as you scream for help that never comes? It was a sunny afternoon when Marcus, a devoted black father, was driving his 2 kids home from soccer practice. In seconds, a routine traffic stop turned into a nightmare. An officer's rage erupted, slamming Marcus' face first into the pavement while his children's cries echoed. Why did this happen? Was it justice? Or something darker? Stick with me. This story will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about power. Let me take you back to a warm September evening in a quiet suburban neighborhood outside Atlanta. Marcus Thompson, a 34-year-old mechanic and single dad, was just another guy trying to do right by his kids. His daughter, Aaliyah, 12, and son, Jaden, 9, were in the backseat, still buzzing from their soccer game. Marcus wasn't perfect, nobody is, but he was the kind of dad who showed up. Every game, every parent, teacher meeting, every late-night homework session. He'd built a life for his kids after their mom passed 3 years earlier, working overtime to keep them in a good school district. That day, Marcus was driving his old but reliable Chevy, the radio playing low, the kids laughing about a missed goal. It was ordinary, peaceful, until blue lights flashed in his rear-view mirror. Marcus pulled over, calm but cautious. He'd been stopped before. Most black men in America have a story or two. Keep your hands visible, he told himself like a mantra. Aaliyah and Jaden went quiet, sensing the shift. The officer, let's call him Officer Daniels, approached. Young, maybe late 20s, with a tense jaw and eyes that didn't meet Marcus's. License and registration. Daniels barked. Marcus complied, slow and deliberate, but something felt off. Daniels seemed agitated, his voice sharp. Why's your taillight out? He demanded. Marcus frowned. He'd just fixed it last week. Officer, I checked it recently. It should be fine, he said, keeping his tone even. Daniels didn't respond. He just stared, hand twitching near his holster. What Marcus didn't know was that Daniels had been flagged for complaints before. Excessive force, racial profiling. But in this moment, all Marcus saw was a man with power, and all Daniels saw was a target. The kids watched wide-eyed as the tension thickened. Aaliyah whispered, Dad, what's happening? Marcus forced a smile. It's okay, baby, just a routine stop. But it wasn't, not even close. Daniels ordered Marcus out of the car. No explanation, no warning. Marcus hesitated, not because he was defiant, but because he was scared. Scared for his kids. Scared for himself. Officer, my kids are here. Can you tell me what's wrong? He asked, voice steady but pleading. That's when it happened. Daniels grabbed Marcus's arm, yanked him out, and with one brutal motion, slammed him to the ground. The pavement cracked against Marcus's cheek. Aaliyah screamed. Jaden sobbed, Daddy. The world stopped. Let's pause here. Imagine you're Marcus. Your face is pressed into the hot asphalt, the weight of a man's knee on your back. Your kids are screaming, their voices cutting through the haze of pain. You're not resisting. You're not even moving. But the officer's shouting, stop fighting, fighting. You're just trying to breathe, to stay alive for your kids. This wasn't about a taillight anymore. This was about power, about control, about something much deeper and uglier. Aaliyah was out of the car now, her phone in her shaking hands, recording. Get back, Daniels yelled, but she didn't. She was her father's daughter, brave, stubborn, and terrified. Jaden clung to her, crying as neighbors started to gather. A crowd formed, phones out, voices murmuring. What's he doing? He's not resisting. Those poor kids. But no one stepped in. Fear held them back. Fear of the badge. Fear of what comes next. Daniels cuffed Marcus, yanking him to his feet. Blood trickled from a gash on Marcus's forehead. You're under arrest, Daniels spat. For what? Marcus didn't know. Neither did the crowd. Neither did the kids. A second officer arrived, older, calmer, but he didn't intervene. He just stood there, watching, as Daniels shoved Marcus toward the patrol car. Aaliyah's voice broke through. He didn't do anything. Why are you doing this? Daniels ignored her, but the crowd was growing louder. Someone yelled, let him go. The tension was a powder keg, ready to explode. Now, let's pull back. This wasn't just about one traffic stop. Marcus's story is one of thousands. Black men, women, parents, pulled over, targeted, humiliated, or worse, for no reason other than the color of their skin. The stats don't lie. Black Americans are 5 times more likely to be stopped by police than white Americans. 5 times. And in 2023 alone, over 1,000 people were killed in police encounters in the U.S. Marcus knew these numbers, not as stats, but as a lived reality. Every time he got behind the wheel, he carried that weight. But this time, it wasn't just about him. It was about Aaliyah and Jaden watching their world shatter. Back to the scene. Marcus was in the patrol car now, hands cuffed behind him, his kids' cries fading as the door slammed shut. Aaliyah's video was still rolling, capturing every second. She didn't know it yet, but that footage would change everything. Daniels turned to the crowd, barking orders to disperse. But the neighbors weren't backing down. A woman, Mrs. Carter, a retired teacher, stepped forward. "I saw the whole thing," she said, her voice steady. "You had no reason to do that." Daniels ignored her, but the second officer looked uneasy. Something was shifting. At the station, Marcus sat in a holding cell, his mind racing. What would happen to his kids? Who was taking care of them? Aaliyah and Jaden were with a neighbor now, safe but traumatized. Aaliyah hadn't stopped filming until the patrol car drove away. She uploaded the video to social media, her hands shaking as she typed. "They attacked my dad for nothing. Please help." Within hours, the video had thousands of views. By morning, it was viral. Hashtags like #justice for Marcus and #end police brutality trended across the U.S. and UK. People were angry. People were demanding answers. But here's where it gets messy. The police department released a statement. The suspect resisted arrest, endangering the officer. Resisted? Marcus hadn't moved. The department claimed the taillight was out, but Aaliyah's video showed it working. They said Marcus had a history, but his record was clean. The lies were piling up, and the public wasn't buying it. Protests erupted outside the precinct. News outlets picked up the story. Marcus, still in a cell, had no idea his name was becoming a symbol. Let's dive deeper. This wasn't just about Marcus anymore. It was about a system. A system that lets officers like Daniels act with impunity. A system that leaves kids like Aaliyah and Jaden scarred. But something was different this time. That video, Aaliyah's courage, the crowd's voices. The truth was out there, and it was spreading like wildfire. By day 2, the story was national. CNN, BBC, even international outlets were covering it. Activists organized rallies. A lawyer, Sarah Mitchell, saw the video and took Marcus's case pro bono. She was a pit bull, known for taking on police misconduct cases and winning. Sarah met with Marcus, who was still bruised, still shaken, but resolute. "I just want my kids to be okay," he told her. Sarah nodded. "We're going to do more than that. We're going to fight." The video was the key. It showed everything. The working taillight, Marcus's compliance, Daniels' aggression, the kids' screams. But here's the twist. Daniels wasn't just a rogue cop. Sarah dug into his record and found a pattern. 3 prior complaints of excessive force, all against black men, all swept under the rug. And the second officer, he'd been reprimanded for failing to intervene in a similar case. This wasn't one bad apple. It was a rotten tree. Sarah leaked her findings to the press. The public's outrage grew. Petitions for Daniels' suspension hit 1 million signatures. But the police union pushed back, claiming Daniels was just doing his job. The department doubled down, releasing body cam footage edited, grainy, conveniently missing key moments. It only fueled the fire. Aaliyah, now staying with her aunt, refused to stay silent. She spoke at her rally, her voice trembling but strong. "My dad is not a criminal. He's my hero, and they tried to take him from us." The case went to court. Sarah built a rock-solid case, using the video, witness statements, and Daniels' history. The prosecution tried to paint Marcus as aggressive, but the jury wasn't buying it. Aaliyah's testimony broke hearts. I thought I was going to lose him, she said, tears streaming. Jaden, too young to testify, drew a picture of his dad in handcuffs. It was shown in court, not a dry eye in the room. But here's the deeper layer. Marcus wasn't just fighting for himself. He was fighting for every parent who's ever been targeted, every kid who's had to watch. He was fighting for a future where Aaliyah and Jaden wouldn't have to live in fear, and he wasn't alone. The community rallied. Black, white, young, old. Strangers donated to a fund for his legal fees. A local artist painted a mural of Marcus and his kids, captioned, "Justice starts here." Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. The trial's verdict came on a rainy Tuesday. The courtroom was packed, the tension suffocating. The jury foreman stood. Not guilty, he said. Marcus was free, but that wasn't the twist. The judge, moved by Aaliyah's video and the public outcry, issued a rare statement. This court cannot ignore the systemic issues at play. Daniels was suspended, pending investigation. The second officer, demoted. It wasn't everything, but it was a start. The real twist. Aaliyah's video didn't just save her dad. It sparked a movement. Cities across the U.S. and U.K. held Drive Without Fear rallies demanding police reform. Marcus, once just a mechanic, became a reluctant activist, speaking at events, his kids by his side. The final emotional hit. At one rally, Jaden took the mic. "I'm not scared anymore," he said. The crowd roared. This story isn't over. Marcus and his kids are still healing. The system's still broken, but they fought, and they won a piece of justice. So I'm asking you, what would you have done if you were Marcus? If you were Aaliyah recording that video, comment below and tell me, how far would you go to protect your family? And if this story moved you, hit that like button and share it. Let's keep this fight alive.